Going. This is Mystical Ariel here to shake the matrix, expand our minds, and make us all think. Yes, we're in a vehicle. Yes, we drove to go get reception, and we are hot spotting right now so that you guys can literally have me here and we can be completely live. So, this is why we're in a car. This is what's going on. And yeah, the things I do for all of you to educate you guys. So make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and share. And also make sure you guys go over to Amazon and help support by buying my books. Type in Awaken, Ariel Hooper, and you'll find the series there and everything else. So welcome everybody. For those of you who are on now live, welcome. For those of you who are watching this later, how's it going? So we're going to talk about these parts here. So welcome my beloved ones, and today is the journey into deconstructing the false reality, the matrix. And this is not just information, this is revelation. And apparently it's so offensive that I got a strike in TikTok and saying that I was teaching non-scientific facts, which let's just show them that that's not true, because it actually is science. And it's all in quantum physics. It's actually all in documentation and theories and experiences. So how is it not science? I'm not sure where they got their conclusions from, but apparently we're already shaking the matrix enough to get a strike on TikTok. So here we are on YouTube, where we haven't actually gotten a strike, surprisingly. They're pretty cool with us. So this is not just information, by the way. This is revelation. When we see the structures that surround us, when we name the systems that program us, we begin to loosen their holds, which is absolutely an amazing thing when we really come down to thinking about all of this. So, remember, seeing is the very first act of liberation, because once you see the truth and the bars of the prison system and you look around, you pay attention, you are no longer asleep inside it. So let's just take a moment and center together. Close your eyes if you're able, and take a slow, deep breath in and release and hold it. Taking a breath in and hold it. So feel your feet on the ground. Feel your body here, alive, breathing, aware. And set this intention. Are you guys ready? Set this intention with me. You guys are going to join this journey. If you're just joining on, right now just taking a deep breath, and we're about to repeat what I'm saying to set this intention, so that as we go to unpack this, that we're ready. So you ready? Ready? Say, I am ready to see. I choose courage over comfort, and I chose truth over illusion. All right. Beautiful. Now let's just take a step into the first layer of this matrix, that medical system we were talking about yesterday. The medical system, the ones taught to trust, is not primarily designed to heal. We talked about that. The money-making system, it's designed to profits. So the pharmaceutical companies fund most of the medical research. I don't know if you guys know that. So there's a directive in that research. And the same corporations often influence medical schools. So that means that all those doctors and nurses and everyone that are going educated in there were wanting to go in there to heal the human beings. But instead, they got indoctrinated, but not by the education system of what was really the medical original intent and system of it. They got indoctrinated by the ones who paid the bills of those schools. So, from the very beginning, the question being asked is, the treatments being pushed, are they not already aligned to profit off of them? And they're not really set up for what's perceived medicine, which is the wholeness as you as a person. See, there's these normal human variations. Let's get to pathologized children. Like, for instance, us parents all of a sudden have these children, right? And they got these energies. Well, first of all, their frontal lobes aren't developed yet, so how can we expect them to actually act and behave like we do? they're in the same kind of mode that we would say these AI things are that we're on, where we have to give them the information to have them bring the information where to get it from. So kids are like that same thing, right? We have to give them the information. We have to let them explore. We have to let them figure things out. But we remove that and we put them into these environments of boxes where we force them to be educated just one specific direct way. So of course, when a patient goes in to see someone, right, and they have these ideas, these boxes, chilling with energy become a disordered situation now. And instead, even this situation, women in natural hormone cycles are labeled as imbalanced, when we're just actually going through an expression of our body and DNA resetting itself because we're going on to the next growth pattern. So normally in past tribal history, they would have been taken out into nature, pulled away a bit so they can actually go into solitude, have a bit of break from the freaking family situations that they have back at home, and be able to come into that next place and that next level. And they were never seen as a disorder or a dysfunction. They were the growth and the next flowering state of the woman. But now we're being labeled imbalanced, aging, grief, even spiritual awakenings have even turned into medical conditions. Like, seriously, it's crazy. Oh man, that person's at this level. Really? I didn't know that you discovering that you've been in prison this entire time had levels. We're still trying to build constructs within constructs, prisons within prisons. That makes absolutely no sense as creators now, does it? Hi, how's it going, Anna? Hi, said hi. You got permission. My name is Perry. Hello, Perry, how's it going? So, and the myth of the chemical imbalance in the brain never proven. I want the science behind that. I've been still waiting for that. Trying to figure it all out. You know, and then yet we design pills for something that we don't even have true answers to how they discovered this in the first place. So they create a dependent system, patients coming back and forth again and again and again. Chronic illness is profitable, true health healing is not. And then on top of it, you know, if you're got trauma, you go in there, your body hurts because your cell memory is screaming out and wants you to face the truth. But then you go in and you get these autoimmune where now your body's attacking itself, so because it's shouting out, going, would you fucking listen? And then you go in there and then they're gonna, you know, label it all these other things on top of it. And they're gonna make you feel good. So now you want to come back because you know what? Your house was trauma. You don't get love at home. You get treated like a piece of crap. But you walk into that doctor's office and that man in that white coat's like an angel because he touched you on the knee and just said the right words. Programming. Here's the real truth. That was funny. My friend just actually hit play on her thing. Here's the truth. Your body is intelligent. Your body is electric, energetic, divine. And while sometimes medicine is necessary, your sovereignty means reclaiming choice. Asking who benefits from this situation in the first place. You know? And who's getting this prescription, and what holiday do you get to go on, and do I get to join you in this if I take this? Trey Taylor Crew Tractor, I'm his dad. Oh hey, how's it going? Yo Trey. So let's close our eyes for a second and let's scan our bodies for just a moment. Where's this tension, pain, heaviness? And instead of us labeling it this and this condition causing this and this and that, just so something I was famous for. Instead of looking for what's wrong, let's breathe into it and whisper inwardly, hey body, I hear you. I'm listening. What do you need? and listen. Because everything that is in the universe is within you. And the step is to reclaiming authority over your own health. I mean, we got AI now. You can pretty much type your symptoms in there and AI responds just like a doctor anyway. And then find out what you need to have for your body naturally, but also find out what the trauma is that your cells are screaming out. Why did your body have an activation of this condition that the doctors wanted to label it? State, I ain't never heard of that before in my life. This is private property. There you go. The educational matrix, conditioning, and curriculum control. Next, the school system. So if we think back when you were a child, you were taught how to grow food, right? Not. Well, your family did that, maybe. But back in the day, the school system used to do that. Way back in the tribal days. How to heal with herbs, how to regulate emotions, how to discern truth in media, right? We learned all that there. You know that's all sarcasm, right? Or were you taught to sit still, memorize, and regurgitate all their BS? Educate as we know it was built to create obedient workers, slaves, not sovereign creators. Standardized tests, bells, grades, they train compliance, not creativity. And we talked about yesterday how creativity was removed from the education system. You know, the curriculum gatekeepers decide which histories are told, which voices are actually erased, which knowledge is validated, indigenous wisdom, feminine wisdom, alternative sciences. What did they do with it? They're left out, or they're mocked, or we're told they're not real science. But yet, how many people do we see within time and over again for times, millennia of history, that natural medicines were their remedies? And the truth is, if we go back in time, even ancient texts, people lived way older for a reason back in those days. They try to make us believe that ain't true, but reality is, why do all the ancient texts have these guys that are freaking hundreds of years of age? You know, this message is like trust. The message they've been giving us is trust the experts. Don't trust yourself. Which, are they living with us 24/7? How do they know us? How do they know what our bodies are even really doing? They sit with us in an office for a couple of minutes, or they sit with us in the school system for whatever time, but they have us in a box. So, I mean, do they really know us? Because we're not free. But we're supposed to trust all these experts because some piece of paper taught them what to do. Does that sound familiar? It's the same message as the medical system. But the truth, human beings are born curious. You're wired to learn, to explore, to create. Education is your birthright, but it doesn't belong in a factory. So here's my challenge this week. Reclaim one area of curiosity. And it might be herbalism. Heck, it might even be music. Heck, it might be finger painting, or it might be painting or drawing, or even building something, or storytelling, or writing, poetry. Spend one evening, 1 hour, studying a practicing outside of the mainstream education. And that is an act of rebellion right there alone. I dare you. And then ask yourself, what do I wish I had been taught as a child? And go teach yourself it. Write it down. That's a clue to what you can reclaim right now. And then we got this political and legal matrix, consent and control. Wow. And now the legal and political system. Here's hard truth. Most laws are written not for people, but for corporations. Lobbying and corporate personhood have shaped entire nations. Bureaucracy thrives on confusion, on contracts written in language only layers understood. But the key here is consent. Systems of governance rely on participation. Your birth certificates, your social security number, your licenses and registrations, these create what's called a legal friction. and fiction, a corporate identity that the state controls. Meanwhile, your living, breathing self, your sovereign essence is untouched. Surveillances and emergency powers keep tightening the net. We've seen it. Fear creates compliances. And once powers are given to the state, they are almost never returned. Look at what they just did recently. The guy gets shot, all this kind of stuff. Why? Let's make it right out in the view. It's cause another distraction and more fear. Oh no, they could come into my family for speaking truth. I'm not saying whether that was truth, that was his truth. So what do? We learn, we reclaim. We acknowledge of our rights. We practice saying, I don't consent. Show me the source. What are my alternatives? Pick one document that governs your life. A lease, a policy, a local ordinance, and read it this week. Figure out exactly what it's really truly saying and highlight what it's asking of you. Knowledge is power. I mean, we sign stuff all the time and just skim through it. We don't even know what the heck we're signing, but we just want the money they want to give us or the house they want to give us because we're signing that document. But we need to remember we're not a number. But we are becoming a number, right? So let's place our hands on our hearts and speak out loud. I'm not a number. I'm not a fiction. I'm a living and breathing sovereign being of energy, and I choose where I give my consent. And I don't consent to be a prisoner. So, what did we do today? We pulled back the curtain on 3 layers. One of the false reality matrix, the medical system that profits from our illnesses, the education system and conditions obedience, the political legal system that binds you through consent and bureaucracy, and yet seeing is the start of freedom. Your homework is simple, guys. From each of these 3 systems, take one small step. Question a medical guideline, reclaim one self-direction, learning, read one legal document. These are cracks in the matrix. Here's a daily micro routine. You guys ready? So, do 10 minutes curiosity practice, learn something outside of the system. In the evening, journal one way, you noticed authority influencing your choices. And the revolution is not out there. It begins in here. Awareness in your body, in your choices. Say it aloud with me. You guys ready? I reclaim my body, my mind, my learning. I witness without fear, and I choose my sovereign path. There you go, beautiful ones. So tomorrow we go deeper into financial information and spiritual layers of the matrix, and we begin to step into active liberation. Until then, you guys, stay sovereign, stay curious, and stay awake. And make sure you do one thing towards your dreams every single day. It brings you one step closer. Make sure you recognize you're valuable and you matter, and you're all unique puzzle pieces, a part of the ultimate puzzle of the cosmos. Peace, love, see you guys next time. And the reason I'm heading out is because I actually got to go do the next show. So if you guys want, you can go hop on over to TikTok and go on live there. It's under Shake the Matrix, and then we can converse and you can ask questions more there. But I got to go get ready for the next one. Peace. We start at 6:30. Much love, you guys. See you there.